Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. Welcome back to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. I'm very excited that you're here. Today I want to teach you guys a very special technique I use, which you've likely seen before, called aging and ascending, and how I do it to my actual MLM leads. If you're like me, you know MLM is an amazing opportunity to grow a real asset for yourself. But you also see that there's huge issues starting to emerge. Like, why haven't big MLMs let tactics change in over 30 years? Or why have they been cutting commissions smaller and smaller? Or even, how dumb is it that old MLM rules say you'll get in trouble when you use the internet to grow your team? These are some of the blaring questions we all face today. This podcast will show you how real MLMers like us are waging war on the old dying methods. And we aren't cheating by only bugging uninterested family and friends. Follow this podcast while I expose the shocking methods I'm using to build my 10,000 person downline and get people begging to join my team daily. Here's to the new tactics without all those old, rusty MLM shackles. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, my friends? Very excited for today and to walk you guys through this. Recently, I was on a coaching call, and there were several hundred people listening, and it's always funny, man. I can always see there's always like two people in the audience. The first person is the person who's like excited to be there, right? Maybe they sacrifice a little bit to be there, even if it's on a virtual call. And they're very pumped about it. And they're like, oh my gosh, and they're taking notes and they're really engaged. The second kind of person is not necessarily a heckler, but the second most popular type of individual I see showing up to either an event or a coaching call or even just a life is a person who is actively looking for holes and actively looking to discredit whatever they're being taught. You know what I mean? Instead of a knee-jerk reaction of like, cool, punch me in the gut, knee-jerk reaction, you know what? That's really cool. Their knee-jerk reaction is, but that probably doesn't work because whole, skeptic. I'm going to tell you right now that the mentality of successful people is not knee-jerk skeptic, okay? For the most part, like that's not a standard mentality of somebody who's successful. So when someone's teaching you something, the reason I'm telling you this is because the thing I'm going to walk you guys through today about aging and ascending leads, it has everything to do with how I actually run my real business. But I'm begging you, please don't be the person who's knee-jerk, boom, that's not going to work for me. It's worked for all these other tens of thousands of people, but not me. I'm unique. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, is that cool if I say that? A little thick skin moment here. We cool with that? I've got a cool piece of paper in my hand here. I'm actually going to walk you guys through on this. And what I want to walk you through is how I actually age and ascend my leads through the use of what we call a value ladder. All right. Now, this is probably likely not the first time you've heard this term. For some of you, maybe it is. Okay. But I want to show you guys how I actually run my actual business. Now, I did a podcast episode a little while ago called Info Plus MLM. And that episode is one of the cornerstones of how I run stuff, right? And if someone's like, oh, it's funny, I've seen some people say like, no, that's not how it actually is happening. Go watch major MLMers, right? A lot of them have their own info products that are unrelated to the products that they actually sell, meaning they're unrelated to the MLM they're in, but they're not actually, anyway, let me draw it here for you, right? We've got information, and that could come in the form of them writing a book, an ebook, right? A book or ebook. It could be some kind of video course. And by the way, if you guys are not on YouTube right now, this episode might be helpful for you guys to check out on YouTube. Hopefully you guys like the series we just did on different product funnel styles. Anyway, so ebook, video series, right? It could be an audio training. But what's cool about this stuff is that when you understand, like, this stuff is not helpful for people unless you're solving legitimate problems, okay? You're not just going in and trying to, right, really fast. You cannot survive very long in this game without being legitimate, right? In any game. So I'm not telling you to go make crap. Go make things that are awesome. But what we do is we information, and then we finally lead those people into the downline that we're in, right? And that's how we play the game. And many big people play it that way. I'm not the first person to do this. I just noticed this is what big people are doing, and I started talking about it. Anyway, so let me share this thing with you, because what I want to do is I want to share with you how we take the leads from all this info space and we age and ascend them. Now that term, if you don't know, comes from a book called .com Secrets. The first time I was ever reading a book called .com Secrets, I was in the Army, and it was in a 10-day training, and I was laying in the dirt. And I had my M16 in my right hand, I was in the prone. So, I had my M16 and I was in the prone looking down the sights, but then I had the book .com Secrets in my left hand. Okay, and I read that book .com Secrets, but I'd lay down. Oh my gosh, that's so cool, right? And I'd lay my weapon down, and in Army uniforms, there's like pen slots right in the forearm right there. So I'd lay my weapon down and I'd grab out the pen, take notes on the book, put the pen back, lift my rifle back up, and that's how I did it. That's how I read that. But one of the concepts in that book is called aging and ascending. And the point of that concept is that when you get somebody in, right, let's say that you get 100 people who come to you and say, you know what, I'm interested in whatever MLM you're in, right? How many of them do you think are actually going to join right off the bat? I don't know the real numbers, but let's just say 10%, right? Let's say 10% of these people actually come and actually do something. So you get 10 people. That leaves 90 other people, 90, right, who did not take action. Let's say you go and you approach, let's say you do, you know what, let's actually go back to the way most of us are taught MLM. And there's nothing wrong with it as so long as you're approaching those who are actually interested, right? Let's say you take your phone out and you get 100 contacts from your phone and 10 of the 100 take action. I mean, that's not bad, but what do you do with the other 90? You just toss them to the wayside? That's one of the reasons why people might feel used by you. Don't toss them to the wayside. What you do is what we call age and ascend, okay? Age and ascend, meaning I'm gonna put some time on them, right? I'm not just gonna drop them. Same thing is true online. It's no different just because it's on the internet. It's just on the internet. Same principle though. So what do I do with the other 90? I'm going to age and ascend them. Age and ascend them. And what that's going to let me do is gain more of a relationship, more trust. I want them to know, like, and trust me, right? And so what I want to teach you real fast is how I do that with what we call a value ladder. I'm actually aging and ascending leads. Now, I'm going to draw my actual value ladder here for you. And this is probably likely the first time you guys have seen what I actually do. Right, some of you guys. Okay, so a value ladder traditionally looks like a series of steps, and basically all you're saying is this, right? A value ladder, how much money I can charge with how much value I give them. I can charge more money for how much value I give them. So a value ladder, right? And the more expensive things are up here in the front, up here at the top. And the less expensive things or the free things are down here at the bottom, right? Just generally 30,000 foot view. That's the principle of a value ladder. Now, I'll tell you, in my value ladder itself, my MLM isn't in it. It's actually in the back over here, right? This whole other area right over here. Now is my MLM. My MLM's over here, okay? So what I do is a portion of the people who see my free stuff, they're like, you know what, Steven? They come to me. Right? I don't even say the name of my MLM that I'm in this entire value ladder. It will kill it. Okay? So a few caveats with all this stuff. Okay? The way you play this game, your MLM's gonna have a hard time with that if you're talking about their stuff in your own products. Don't do that, right? Right? I'm not your legal guy. I'm not your finance guy. But I'm telling you right now, that's hot water. All right? So I don't do that. I don't talk about my MLM. I don't say what I'm in. I do say that I'm in stuff like I'm doing right now. Right now, me making this for Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Right? This is the free zone right there at the bottom. And a portion of you guys come to me and you say, hey, I'd like to join whatever you're in. I'm telling you to do the same thing. I don't care if you actually do. That's the point, right? A portion of you, though, you're like, hey, Steven, I want the next thing to get to know you a little bit more, right? I might have a smaller, like I have a book that's coming out. Let me actually draw this more cleanly now, okay? But this is how I age and ascend leads. And the whole point of this is to show you that a business without a lead machine is dead. It doesn't matter that you're in MLM and someone else makes the product and someone else fulfills on the product and someone else supports the product and someone else ships it out, right? You still need a source of leads. In traditional models, you are your upline's lead gen, which is why they tell you to give all your phone contacts. I'm telling you to make your own lead source so you're not dependent on your upline or downline to give you your leads, right? This allows you to go get a better lead. Guys, you get better fish with better bait, right? And if you're liking this stuff right now, by the way, and you're like, holy crap, this is cool, go to secretmlmhacks.com, watch the web class, and buy it, all right? This is the type of stuff that we go through. I do not give everything out on the podcast, all right? The actual real course is in secretmlmhacks.com, okay? Anyway, let me make sure you guys. Okay, cool. So we have a value ladder here, and the first thing I have inside my value ladder is all my free stuff. Okay, a lot of times it's referred to as the free line. Okay, this is where I have the Secret MLM Hacks Radio. This is where I have, like, if you go to MLMMastersPack.com. MLM Masters Pack. I'll just put MMP on there, right? That's free. We have like the blog, and we have like there's a lot of content, right? There's a lot of free courses. There's free stuff that's out there around it. There's actually, funny enough, hackmlm.com. A portion of that is free. However, it's meant for my top line and my anyway. Right. So that's all the free stuff. The next thing though that I'm going and putting out, I have a book teaching the 3 things you actually control in MLM, because you don't control a lot. The 3 things you actually control in MLM. In the book, it's not out yet as I say this, but you guys can go to moderndownline.com and join the waiting list there. Okay, Modern Downline. And I know I've walked through some of this stuff in the past, but I'm trying to show you guys that this is not just how I'm going to give them this product and this product and this product and this product. What I'm actually doing is I'm saying, hey, here is, I'm aging and ascending the leads, right? A portion of people who see this, they're like, this dude's legit. I don't care that his eyeballs are massive. I'm going to go try and join his team, right? And that's great. And I'm trying to teach you to do the same in your MLM. I don't care what you're in. You understand? No one feel like, whoa, he's pitching me into his downline, right? I don't care. Right? I'm trying to change the industry as a whole and poke holes where the holes are, because they're gaping, right, in this space. But I love the space, but there's holes, right? Anyway, okay, the next thing in here, so we have the Modern Downline, and this is a book that's coming out. We have the draft done, but there's a lot of, anyways, I'm super excited about that book. It's intense. Anyway, the next thing on here is events. Now I have various events. Okay, I have various events like actually, you know what? The event isn't yet. Sorry. What's next is Eraser's dying. What's next is the actual Secret MLM Hacks course. Okay, Secret MLM Hacks course. After that, this is the course that walks people through to how to actually do it, right? And there's a workbook, and there's a group with it, and there's anyway, there's tons of FAQs, things. Anyway, next thing on here is the events. So I have events. And my events, okay, I have an event called Offer Mind, which when people get the Secret MLM Hacks course, they also, with that, they're buying a ticket for Offer Mind because they need to come to that, right? There's another one. We haven't, I'm really excited about it. It's an event I know we'll do. It's called Hack MLM Live. Okay, Hack MLM Live. Super cool. We've Hack MLM Live, and then after that, I have a program for the people who are like, it's meant for those who have like an existing business who are really looking to just blow stuff up. It's actually this is called Offer Lab. Okay, and guess what? It gets more expensive as you move up, but it's also meant to cater to wherever you are. If you're like, man, I'm brand new, sweet, you might want to think about coming down in these kinds of areas, right? Free stuff, the book, Secret MLM Hacks, kind of in that area. Right? If you're like, man, I'm existing. I've already got cash flow. My team's already growing. It's doing super well. I just need to expand and extend my reach. I'm looking how to duplicate me. Really, I'm looking how to make stronger lead machines. Awesome, right? Then come in these areas, and that's why I do this. And I'm trying to help you do that. That's one of the purposes of what I do, is help you create, the similar kind of thing with this. Okay. There's one more thing at the top here. So we have Offer Lab, and then there's one more thing at the top right here, and right, that is what I call Titans of Industry. And Titans of Industry is my mastermind. That's my mastermind where we go like to different cool destinations and stuff and do our masterminds. And I love masterminds. Just being involved, and right, I'm in Russell's inner circle. As of by the end of this year, I think I will have paid $150,000 in coaching. Okay, not to one person, right? I have lots of coaches. It's very important that whoever you're getting coached from is also paying to get coached, right? It's like wings on a plane. Can't have one wing, right? They gotta have both. It balances it out, right? So anyway, so that's kind of my value ladder, right? And that is my value ladder. So that's my value ladder, and the whole point of it is that I can age and ascend all of my leads. So what I can do now, each one of these has its own funnel, right? So there's a funnel here, and this isn't the actual funnel. I'm just kind of drawing it for it, right? There's a funnel right here. And there's funnel right here. So every single value ladder step has its own individual funnel. However, it's also got its own individual boom, boom, boom. Squares are getting worse as I go. It's also got its own like marketing sequence that suggests, why don't you go to the next level? Why don't you go to the next level? Why don't you go to the next level? Right? Just like that. So every single one of these, so like in the free area, right, there's an email sequence that pushes up, right? And that has an email sequence that pushes up. And that has an email sequence that pushes up. And you guys can see where this is going, right? The exact same way the whole way up. And what's powerful about this is that nowhere in this am I even mentioning what I'm in, right? I think it's towards it's like the top groups, right? Where I'm like, all right, this is what I'm in, right? The reason I do that is because I have people come apply to join my downline. And it's a natural occurring thing when I provide more value to the marketplace. The marketplace says, well, hey, what? Let me follow up with you. And so what I have is a whole separate recruiting funnel. And this is how I age and ascend my leads. I age and I ascend them. I make sure they're having success with this thing, and then I ascend them to the next thing. And then I make sure they have success with the thing, then I send them to the next thing, right? And then there's a group of people that reach on out and they say, Steven, what are you in? I want to be whatever you're in. I don't care what you're in. The reason I do that is because I don't want them to go, well, like, I hate that company. No, like I chose it for very specific reasons. I want them to join me as much as they're joining the company. So a lot of people will reach out and say like, well, Steven, what are you in? I don't really care. I just want to do whatever it is that you're doing. And then they come in, I'm like, cool. And then this is where you go, right? And then I give them the link and then we start the process of seeing if they're a good fit for my downline. Does that make sense? So I'm not talking about my MLM inside of this. Don't that's hot water, right? Your MLM's not going to like that. Don't do that. But instead, what you do is still provide a lot of value to the marketplace. And you don't have to do all this, right? That's a lot. I've been doing this stuff for a long time now, right? I've built literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sales funnels, right? This is what I am. It's what I do. But you just need like one, right? Just one. Just figure out, you know what, Steven, like a lot of you guys have books. Sweet. Do you have a book funnel? Right? And then is there something to, if you have one, sweet. Are you driving paid advertising? Right? And then what are they doing in the back? Are you ascending them somewhere else? After you kind of age, meaning get them success and make sure they're comfortable with where they are, right? Then you kind of ascend them. Age and ascend, age and ascend. And that's the whole name of the game. And so I wanted this episode to be maybe a little bit more eyes wide open. This is what Steven's actually doing. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy cool, right? That's what it is. So I'm really psyched about this episode. I wanted to toss it out to you just to give you ideas and get your wheels spinning. And if you need to listen to this a few times, I strongly encourage you to do so, because this is how a marketer approaches MLM. Okay, this is how an internet funnel builder approaches the network marketing space. Okay, is we look to see, well, oh man, I've got this dream customer, right? Not a could-be customer. I got a dream customer right here. Got this amazing dream customer. Oh, we'll pull a crown on him. Yay. Right. Got this dream customer. So awesome. I know that this is who I want. Looks like hair, not a crown. Anyway, how do I attract this person? They're living over here in this bubble on this side. How do I get them over here to my MLM on this side? How do I get them excited or interested in coming over to me? The way I do it is I'm going to create value for that individual, meaning I'm going to solve legitimate problems. I'm going to solve valuable problems, right? That are going to somehow, one of them is going to come appeal to them. Don't try and build the whole value out at once, right? Not all this is built out, right? Like I haven't launched, like the book's not out yet. HackMLM is not live, is not a real thing yet. And then my mastermind is something that we have people excited about it and who are reaching out about it, but it's not something that I'm offering quite yet as of me recording this. Anyway, go to titansofindustry.com and you can see if it's live. Anyway, but what I call this whole thing, you guys can go to moderndownlinecoaching.com to see this, okay? moderndownlinecoaching.com will show all this to you, but it doesn't talk about my actual MLM, right? That's how I keep the two worlds separate. That's how I keep the two worlds safe. So I can still attract with speed faster than if I was to go to a mall, right? I can go attract the dream person who's like a real builder, an actual grower, actual runner, right? I can attract the actual person who's like, oh man, they would be so cool to have in my downline. How do I attract them? Let me solve problems for them. And whether or not they join, I'm cool with that, right? I want it to be their choice. I want them to want to join me, right? And then bam, I got all these things. Let me age and ascend. Let me solve more problems for them. And then eventually, hopefully, if they want to or not, whatever, but like bam, Steve, I'm really interested. I'm like, sweet. Here's how you start the process to see if you're a good fit. And they're like, what? I have to apply? Yep. As of right now, I think we're about to cross 2,000 people asking to join my personal downline, not including all the other ones below, right? Which is really powerful. But that doesn't mean I let 2,000 join. You understand? It's a vetting process for me, and it's completely automated, which is awesome. Anyways, hopefully it's been eye-opening to you. Just think age and ascend, age and ascend, age and ascend. Because what do you do with the people who are not interested right out of the gate? It doesn't mean you cast them to the wayside. And in fact, doing that often makes people like offended, and they're not likely to join in the future anyway. Okay? What do you do with the other 90%, right? Another 99% of people who are not interested off the bat? Age and ascend. Age and ascend, and just keep that in your mind. Hopefully this episode's been helpful to you, and you've enjoyed doing it. You've enjoyed watching it. If you need to go back and make sure that you're going back and saying like, hey, what is he doing there? How's he doing that over there? Right, and be an active participant in learning actual marketing for multi-level marketing. Okay, very excited that you guys have been a part of this. If you could, I would love a review. If you don't mind, go to smhreview.com. That's the review place where you can review this podcast as well. An honest review. I would love an honest review. If you freaking hate me or whatever, just let me know. We just love to know where it is that you guys are struggling with, where you're still having a hard time with, so that I can keep going and providing actual valuable answers to whatever you're in, right? And that's fine. And that's totally cool. My intent here is to help educate the market on like, oh my gosh, why are we doing it like we were taught back in the 80s? You know what I'm saying? We got the internet, man. Like it's the same stuff. It's just online now. Not saying that one's bad or better than the other. I just do both, right? Or you can do both. I actually don't do many face-to-face things. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and hopefully you guys are starting to think through. Just keep it very simple. I know I just blasted a bunch on you. Know that this is what I professionally do. Just choose one. Just do one thing. Oh man, am I gonna? Not that you need to write a book. Not that it has to be a book, right? I'm saying anything you go choose to provide value with. How can you capture the lead and then age and ascend them afterwards, with the hope that eventually they're like, you know what are you in? And they'll come join you, which is awesome. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you later. Bye. Now, you listening to this right now, you're in one of two scenarios. The first is that you currently have an automated recruiting process that's bringing quality people to you, quality leads, people who want to join your downline, people who want to make a career and a real business out of this. Maybe you have ads and content bringing new customers to you. You may even have a product or two which you sell to attract people to you. Maybe you've even automated it and you make money while doing everyday things. Or the second option is that you don't have any of that set up and you're trying to make all this work and tie all these pieces together just so you can survive in modern MLM today. If you want my help, just go to moderndownlinecoaching.com and see where to get started. It took me a long time to get the skills to get all this moving forward. Creating the sales letter and video, creating the actual sales funnel, writing the follow-up emails, the promotion campaigns, fulfillment plans, right? Fresh new ads. There's a lot. And the place to start on the path is different for each person. So I created moderndownlinecoaching.com for you to check out where you should go next. Whether you're just starting out with no product, no list, and no clue what to do next, or if you're a seasoned MLMer or network marketer and you just want to add more revenues and scale your downline, go to moderndownlinecoaching.com. I don't really believe in shortcuts, but I do know you can speed up your journey on the path. Figure out the best place to start by going to moderndownlinecoaching.com now.